Hello, YouTubers! The new time travel behind me, 88. I'm back with another Star Trek video review. Today, I'm going to review a third Star Trek movie review. It is Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. Yes, this is the third installment of the Star Trek series. It also the second of the motion picture trilogy. Before we get to review, I just want to give a quick shout out to Karate Fan 283. Karate Fan 283, your videos are awesome. Keep up the good work. And for those of you who don't know who's Karate Fan 283 is, check him out on YouTube. Yes, check him out. And let's begin. This story takes place after the events in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. The Enterprise crew mourns the loss of Captain Spock. So, the Enterprise is on her way home to space dock after the Enterprise is badly damaged after a fight between Khan. So, meanwhile, somewhere in space, another vessel, the merchant ship, landed by Commander Valkyris, and he has a data of the Genesis data which is stolen and is ready to transmit. Then a Klingon bird of prey, a new Klingon enemy from the Klingon warship, the bird of prey, now has the information of the Genesis. What the next target is? Commander Krug. You know him, played by Christopher Lloyd from TV's Taxi Cab and Dr. Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. Krug fired the merchant ship and had a new course to the Genesis planet. Meanwhile, the Enterprise is back on its way to the space dock in the docking port. But Chekhov alarms that someone has broken in Captain Spock's quarters. And Kirk tells him, I thought you sealed the room yourself. Then, Kirk went down there on the Spock's cabin and it found Dr. McCoy being driven insane. And he told him, have you lost your mind? And then meanwhile, Starfleet Admiral Monroe came by and told him the bad news that the Enterprise is scheduled for decommission. Scotty was transferred to the new vessel, the Excelsior, dubbed the Great Experiment, a transwarp drive. Scotty offered to be on the refit Enterprise, but he said he won't. And also, the Enterprise told him, Kirk told the Admiral that the Enterprise is not, and he said, Jim, the Enterprise is 20 years old. Actually, it's not 20 years old because the Enterprise was launching in 2245. So I suggest between some sort of that. Anyway, they want everybody not to discuss anything about Genesis. But Genesis is a quarantine planet. So the Klingons had listened to the tape from Admiral Kirk about the Genesis. So the plan is to learn about the secrets. So a science vessel, USS Grissom, arrives. And Lieutenant Savick and Kirk's son, David Marcus, arrived to explore more about the Genesis. And found a torpedo tube located on Genesis' surface. Back home, on Kirk's apartment, Spock's father tells Kirk, telling that, why did you leave him on Genesis? Spock trusted you, and you denied him his future. Only in his body is his death, Kirk, and you are the last one to be with him. So, Sarek mind-meld Kirk and talk about Spock. So, Kirk listened to the log tape that was from Star Trek II, and then after that, Sarek shows up and says, you must bring them to Mausolea on Vulcan. Only then. So, Savick and David Marcus being down to the planet and have found more about the Genesis source. And then a shockwave came in. Then Admiral Kirk tells Morrow that give me back the Enterprise with Scotty's help. But no, the Enterprise is a science team, but the Enterprise, no one goes to Genesis. So they have a next plan, the task. McCoy's in a bar and telling the alien guy that the Genesis is going there. But unfortunately, he is taken away by by the security guy at Starfleet. So, in there, Kirk went inside and told him that Kirk told McCoy that you're suffering from the Vulcan minefield and that green-blooded Vulcan science officer. So, Kirk has no choice to punch the security guards and Sulu too. Then Commander Uhura assaulted one of the Starfleet officers and put him in the closet. So the mission is to go to the course of planet Genesis. But unfortunately, the Excelsior came by. Then Captain Styles warned Kirk, if you do this, you never sit in the captain's chair again. They're stealing the Enterprise. So Kirk orders Sulu to warp speed and leaving the USS Excelsior disabled because Scotty took their transwarp computer drive out of their system. So, on there, they found younger Spock, and they communicated to USS Genesis, and then the Grissom was destroyed by the Klingons. So, on the way to Genesis, they discovered that the Klingons are already in there. So, it's a pitted against a cat and mouse. The bird of prey decloaks and fires the bird of prey, and no choice, the bird of prey fires back on the Enterprise, disabled their transwarp drive conduit on the magnet system. So Kirk has no choice forever. David Marcus, Spock's son, was killed by the Klingon. He said, "You Klingon monster! You killed my son!" Kirk has no choice to self-destruct the USS Enterprise and blow it up. On there, down the Genesis planet, Kirk and company being down and saw Mr. Spock growing rapid aging, caused a Panfar, and also mine. He said, "It seems that I got all his marbles, Captain." So, crew being down, he surrendered. They send Kirk's crew, to beam him up and let Kirk and Krug fight each other on the Genesis planet, punch. And Kirk finally says, give it a hand, and he finally says, I had enough of you. So Kirk punched the commander crew down to the fiery pit and destroyed. So, back on the Klingon vessel, Kirk tells Maltz, "You help me or not?" He said, "I do not deserve to live." So, the Enterprise Kirk commandeers the Klingon bird of prey and go directly to Vulcan. And Chekhov take the prisoner below, and he said, "Wait, you thought you killed me?" And then he said he lied. And take him down to the brig. So on the way to Vulcan, Akatra. So McCoy volunteered to participate in the Faltorpan Katra. So the successful works, and Spock was happily restored. And the tagline says, "An adventure continues." Yes, Star Trek III, The Search for Spock is an okay movie of 1984. If you haven't seen the movie, I recommend to check it out. And as you know, this is the widescreen version of the movie, and it's also part of the Star Trek the movie's 25th anniversary. Here's the spine of a spine. the top and the back. This is a widescreen edition and it's sealed up, but I have a second copy, the damaged tape of the widescreen Star Trek 3. Here's the tape look like with the sticker label. It's faded and the end label, but this is from 1993 re-release. And to Jedi Master Horton, have you seen Star Trek 3 The Search for Spock? Well, that's it for this review, and shout out goes to Phantom Creed, Jedi Master Horton, Caleb Asenmeyer, and that Trekkie girl, and the Jedi Master Horton. This is the new Time Travel Jaime 88. Thanks for watching, and to check out other Star Trek reviews that I review, like the Star Trek box set and Star Treks 1 through 2, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. See you then.